Yo, I've been getting this question a lot. What's my daily driver, right? And if you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. James Utley. I am your resident code breaker data scraper. I am an AI engineer, amongst other things. So let's get into it. This may surprise you, but lately my daily driver has been this model that's called GLM 4.6 for a few reasons. One, I always select the model because I like how it feels. I've been doing this for a long time now, so I can tell like what's good, what's bad, what latency, the outputs, all of that format and all that stuff. And I have a preference. It's kind of hard to explain what the preference is. I just know that I like it. But anyway, okay, but GLM 4.6, maybe you've never even heard of this model, which is it's an open source model. And I'm here, let's just tell you about it. So, because it's not your GPT-5s, it's not your Claude 4.5 Sonnet Opus or 4.1 Opus. It's not your Google Gemini Flash 2.5, 2.5 Pro, even though I do like that model also. That is my like number two. That's like my mistress in terms of AI models. So, but yeah, let me go over it. So, and I'll tell you all the reasons why I like it. All right, first off, it is made by a company called z.ai or z.ai. Right here, yeah, GLM 4.6, advanced agentic reasoning and coding capabilities. I do a lot of development, and that's what I like about it. So it has great performance. If you look at this, like, trust me, bro, benchmark, um, it's doing well here. In the world of open source models, like, and I don't really pay attention to too much of these benchmarks because I know that they're like biased. They have bias that is definitely built into them for some hype cycle and share shareholder the shareholder love for hype cycles. But anyway, but you can see that these benchmarks here, which I know this one software engineering benchmark here, bench verified, is an important one. I don't know. But you'll see that you have the Anthropic models here. You got a DeepSeek in the middle, and you got the GLM 4.6, but you got it's kind of leading the live code bench. You see, I know this one's a great one because it's like hard to cheat, or so I've been told. But anyway, it's so the point of it is it's like it's it's a matter of increment. Do you like it? Do you not? Whatever. So back to the UI. Okay, so things that I really like about it is like, okay, so this is the UI. It's got a lot of functionality there. I participate in the API, which means that I use the API. No, I don't want it. I've already long done joined a long time ago. But here's their kind of their models. If you have a breakdown, you can see the context windows are like a 200K context window, and this is my guy that I use a lot, the 2.5. But there's have these other models, visual reasoning model, and this is all by z.ai or z.ai. So you got your image model, you got your video generation models here. I've actually never used these, so can't really talk much about them. But this is my guy here. If they're anything like that, they're probably pretty good. But so this is the eight. This is like different models that you have, and this is what I like is the plans. So it's cheaper. So it's like a better model. It's a better model, and it's cheaper. Like so, I'll use it in this in my coding tools. So I often use it in I use no, not Klein or Kilo Rue code, and then I'll use it in the CLI coding tool, which is Crush by Charm. So I like both of those. I've been using those for I think about since like August or something, right? Which in AI terms is like what is it, November now? Like in AI, that's like years. So I like it. Anyway, you can read all about that. But it's a lot better. There's a lot more value in this model for sure because it's not like a mainstay frontier model. So there's a lot more value. Let's see. Let's head. Okay. I don't want to inadvertently expose my API keys to the internet, so we're just going to kind of move out of that. Oh, okay. What? I don't actually don't not sure about that UI. But that's like the main z.ai. Okay, but we're gonna head. All right, I see. We're gonna head right back here. So it kind of outlines it here in the UI. Like you can do it has the ability to code out for full stack stuff. You can do design. You can do deep research, which has actually been pretty good. I've been using it in some instance to to do prompt injection and hack LLMs. So it's been helping me along that one. It's got the web search, deep think capabilities. So and it's like So just give it a whirl so you can see what it looks like in the UI. It's got kind of like your standard UI, but it gives it a thinking model here. I always ask this question, like tell me about the central dogma of molecular biology. Um, and I always, I like to see the outputs. Uh, and that's just kind of like my test guy, right? But the coding is great. Using it as a dev tool is really great. But I like the outputs because it's not like too, and of course you can like change all this stuff if you want. There's obviously the settings and everything like that where you can change, your outputs, and then of course using like prompt engineering type, skills, you can refine them to make them like kind of clear. But I like this model simply because of the cost, the efficiency. I use the UI like rarely, like I'll use it instead of like the GPT models and stuff like that, but you can share a session. There's plenty of things that you can update in the settings, which is like your interface, you can you can improve the model's chat, your account. General stuff is more like system prompts. I believe you can update that. So you can update the system prompt. Oh, I'm actually putting it back in dark mode because I like the data committed. The interface, you can change that around if you want. Import, export chats, archive, delete, your account, and that's all for the UI stuff. Here's another cool little. You can kind of check. You can get the product support. Contact us, but you can go in there into the Discord, and you can see people like fighting with each other. No, I'm just joking, but there is some of that. But I operate in the developer zone of the z.ai. There's a lot of cool people here. I mean, meaning like I don't know them, but you can get a lot of good stuff going on. But of course, you're gonna also get you know a lot of junk too. So it's just like the world of Discord. So, but it gets you closer to progress, meaning like others that are using it. I think there's like 6,000 members in this Discord, but that's that. And yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know where I'm at, what I'm doing. Yeah, the coding agents are great. You can hook it up with Claude Code. I know a lot of people do that. And then I think this is cool. I'm just now going to probably work on running it to like serve it locally on a device that has a bunch of resources. And which is cool because I've been using this, essentially since like I think early September, which is a long while in AI terms. So I got a real good feel of how like the outputs and everything, and I've like kept some of the, I think some of the more beautiful outputs. I'm definitely an AI nerd, so I can tell when it's like, oh, that is a real wonderful output. And like some of the prompts that made that happen, so the prompt engineering around it, and then also like the context engineering with the use of tools like in Rue and Crush. Like I'll run those like simultaneously as kind of like agents in two different worlds, uh, and then kind of merge all the code into one single project, which has been really great. But the best part is that it has such great pricing, right? So you can really build at like the level that you would build like for Claude and with a Claude model, like pretty close. If you're a good prompt engineer, like this is how I feel about it. If you're a good prompt engineer, then GLM 4.6 is really good for you because you have a structure of giving the prompts that can that can convey your message in a very detailed way, and you just learn that over time. There's not like really a guidebook that you can do that. And so you can make this model, which we're going to say is an open source because open weights and everything, but it's not a $1 billion company like Anthropic or something, but it can still output like equivalent code if you're working in development. And then on top of that, so I always think of Google Gemini models as kind of like research assistant type models because it does really well at that, meaning the outputs are really clean. They're very, kind of, it's like weird to say, but well thought out. It's weird to say that about a machine, but that's true. And so, if there's like a kind of a model marriage, then GLM 4.6, and Google Gemini, the Flash model, Flash Pro. Like the base Flash, especially in coding, just gets kind of really terrible. But that's my daily drivers or my daily tech stack. So in terms of AI models, so maybe it surprised you, maybe it didn't. But until next time, maybe I'll do a CLI tool next. But until next time, I'll see you in the future. Peace.